She walked in to buy a gift. She walked out humiliated. What her daughter did next didn't just make waves, it changed the entire luxury industry. High-ticket showrooms were suddenly transformed. This isn't just a story about one woman's disgrace. It's about dignity, justice, and the power of quiet action. On a sunny afternoon in Tallahassee, one of the city's most exclusive car showrooms buzzed with activity. The floors shone, the cars sparkled, and the staff moved with the infamous Sunshine State hospitality and polished precision. But something was about to happen that would challenge everything they thought they knew about customer service and bias. An elegant, well-dressed black woman entered the dealership. She came in with purpose. She had done her research. She knew exactly what she wanted to buy. A specific model that her daughter had admired since she was very young. This wasn't just a gift. It was a birthday surprise, a celebration. What she didn't expect was judgment. Despite her elegance and confidence, she was questioned, redirected, even told they were closing early for some sort of formal review by corporate. The implication? She didn't belong. One staff member went so far as to suggest that she was making up a story about who the vehicle was for. In spite of the denial, she remained poised, with an expression that was unreadable. Never let them see you perturbed. An old saying her grandmother used to share when she was a young child. While humiliated, yet dignified, she walked out without saying another word. When her daughter learned what had happened, she didn't turn to social media. She didn't call out the business publicly. She didn't shout, accuse, or shame. Her response was quieter, but far more powerful. She channeled her disdain into purpose. With clarity and resolve, she did something deeply strategic. She got organized. Because for her, real change wasn't about loud noises. She quietly launched a private analysis and fact-finding operation. She arranged for several people of different races, backgrounds, and appearances to visit the same location. The results were disturbing and eye-opening. Polite indifference for some, discreet doors closed to others, offers of premium cars for a few, downselling and condescension for the rest. The issue wasn't personal, it was systemic. What followed was bold and thoughtful. The plan included mandatory staff training, anonymous shopper programs, public accountability metrics, and a strict, zero-tolerance policy for bias. The dealership's first response? Denial, then panic, then desperation. Her daughter did not seek an apology. With quiet composure, she was not driven by anger or frustration, but rather by a commitment to advocate for a fundamental shift in policy and training, one that would bring meaningful, positive change for countless consumers. Though the appointment with the dealership was challenging, she was armed with a presentation that brought evidence and details of the bias within their ranks. Reluctantly, the corporate hierarchy agreed to her proposal. Almost immediately, the program was implemented. Before long, dozens of luxury retailers embraced the movement, and unexpectedly, so did prestigious brands from other industries. The impact was immediate and deeply felt. Complaints dwindled. A broader, more inclusive clientele began to walk through the doors, and perhaps most striking of all, profits escalated. Change, it turned out, didn't mean sacrifice. It meant progress. Months later, in a powerful full-circle moment, the woman walked back into the very place where she had once been dismissed, not to shop, but to lead. She was no longer seeking service. She was offering wisdom. Greeted with respect and honor, she stood before a newly diverse staff, not just as a trainer, but as a symbol of what accountability and change can look like. Her workshop on bias and customer empathy wasn't just a session. It was a turning point, rooted in lived experience, meant to impact every future interaction. Her daughter had moved on to the next step. She utilized her impressive relational equity and influence to gain involvement from corporations and organizations with a mission focused on diversity. Her objective was to educate young people in underserved communities on the benefits of excellent customer service techniques, apprentice engineering programs, and a preparation program for automotive design. Her message was clear. True progress goes beyond headlines. That moment began with an insult. but it ended with a movement. Because sometimes the quietest responses leave the loudest impact.
Moving Parts Urban Stories presents the finest and relevant storylines for the urban community. There will always be a message to build on. Thank you for joining us. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe.